Hey, y'all, thanks for coming to the book club, The Power of Systems, with Steve and Trevor. And Steve and Trevor, thank you for being with us. I thought I'd share for a minute a system that works for Steve that, because many of you are working to grow your business, doing business development, if you will, and either you're doing it directly or you have somebody doing it. I think this is interesting. This book, well, first of all, I knew that Steve and Trevor were writing it because I'm part of I'm part of the Steve Chandler coaching community, is what I would say, which I've asked Steve about how he created that in a different place. And it's beautiful how he created it. And it is with love and ease and relaxation and steadiness that he created the community that he has, that includes me and Trevor. I met Trevor at one of Steve's final live and in-person coaching schools, the Coaching Prosperity School, or ACS, Advanced Client Systems, that he did. It's where I met Trevor. And it's where I met Maurice Bassett, the book publisher. So this book, if you look on the back, is published by Maurice. And Maurice has become a friend, and I'm grateful to have him in my life too. So I knew Steve and Trevor were writing the book. They were showing their work a bit and talking about how they were creating it and going back and forth, writing a chapter, writing an email, sending it to each other using the system they talked about in the call. So I noticed that, saw it, was excited, wanted to read it, said as much in comments a couple times. And then one day I went to the mailbox and there was a copy of the book, The Power of Systems. So I actually wasn't sure who sent it to me, but it turned out it was Maurice, the book publisher. And Maurice just sends out copies to people who he thinks will be interested, people who would want to share it with an audience. And I don't have a huge audience, right? I don't have a huge group, but we've got an engaged group at Business Builders, and we've got a group of people that will take concepts and work on them, put them into action, and likely share the book with some of their friends. So it's like a tree, right? And so Maurice sent a copy of the book, and Maurice does that out of care and love, and it's a system that works, and it's relaxed, and it's not the modern day system of send out something for just the cost of shipping and handling after a Facebook ad. He just curates a list of people that he sends those books out to. And when I got the book, I did ask Maurice for bulk pricing, because sometimes I like to get a case of the books and then send it out with a note to people. And in this case, I decided, and there's something that, that might not be the most efficient system or the most cost effective, but it is sometimes the most effective system. But when I thought about things going on right now in life and business, I thought, no, I'm going to use the Amazon system, and I'm going to use the Rhonda system. Rhonda's our camp concierge. And so I asked the business builders, the clients, the people that are in the mastermind groups, if they would like a copy of the book, and then started to post on Facebook, if anybody'd like a copy, I'd love to have some people come. And then as they did, the system was to tag Rhonda in the post, and then Rhonda has access to my Amazon account. And so, she sent out these books, and sent out books to even more people than the group of folks who was able to come today. But thank you for being there. So I think Maurice's system of sharing Steve and Trevor's work with the world is beautiful. And Steve and Trevor likewise have this system of love and pay it forward and show up and care. And so when I emailed Steve and Trevor and said, hey, I've decided I'd like to buy the book for friends who I care about, who I think this would benefit, plus the business builders, the clients who are in the community, would you come and talk around the virtual campfire? And they both said yes. It was just a matter of finding time. So these systems of ease and love really, they do work in my experience. And they're an alternative to some of the grind it out, right, and having to feel stressed all the time. And the other thing to share, since I'm talking about Steve and his community, is Steve, thanks for taking an hour a day to write. And thank you for creating the Coaching Prosperity School, the ACS school. So a friend gave me The Prosperous Coach, which Steve is one of the co-authors along with Rich Litvin, also published by Maurice Bassett. And I read the book, and it really resonated with me for how to build my practice. And many of you have heard me say connect, invite, create, propose is a system that is in that book. Truly connect with people. Invite them into a conversation, which we call create, where you're able to, for me, it's a coaching or the Business Builders program. For you, it might be that you're creating and have a conversation. Jamie Connell, funeral home, could be somebody talking to them about pre-need or about the current loved one they lost and how they want to create an experience. Buddy Tuchinski is creating health. Lori Blatt is creating marketing and personal branding. So you all have different types of create. But anyway, in that system or in that book, Connect, Invite, Create, Propose, it's all there. And so I got that book. It was given to me by a friend. It's been a very organic book where somebody hands it to somebody else, say, I got this for you. There's a gift. And that's what happened to me. I read it and I was like, man, I want to work with Steve Chandler. I want to understand how to work with Steve Chandler. And so I went to Steve's website for the coaching school and entered my information that I was interested. It was very simple, like opt in. If you're interested in the school, not if you want to pay for it, but if you're interested, click here, put your information in. I did, and I got a personalized email from Maurice Bassett, the publisher of the book, of this book and of Prosperous Coach. And Maurice simply said, glad you're interested in the school. Would love, I don't know exactly what it said, but would love to talk about it more. I don't know if it said that, but it was a message of service, and it included a link to an audio like Agreements versus Expectations, or there's some on creating clients that Steve has done, and it had that audio in there, and it said, if you like this, let me know and I'll send you another. No offer, no close, just here's a in the meantime kind of thing. Listen to this. And I listened to it and I did like it. And I was like, well, I think this is a real person. I don't think this is an autoresponder. I think it's a real person. And that's kind of cool and interesting. And I replied to it, and another audio came and I listened to that one. He said, if you like that, get another one. I did. And then he sent me like, hey, here's a link to the school. Here's a link for all the information. Here's the page in great detail. And if you'd like to do it, if you want to pay it in payments or if you want to pay it lump sum, and this is the date we're enrolling for, would you like to have a conversation about this, Wayne, with any questions? I actually said, no, I'm good. I'm in. I signed up. And then, I got to go to the school, and we had 3 live meetings that year. And since then I've done graduate schools with Steve, and a system of mine is to go, much like Trevor said, to learn from Steve, read the books, read the body of work. I've got a Steve shelf behind me too, as well as a Pat Lencioni shelf for me, as well as a handful of sales experts for me. And part of my system there is read those things, absorb it, come to that call today, which is why I was looking down, taking notes with the book in my hand, let that settle in, and then listen to the business builders so that I can connect the dots. But that was Steve and Maurice's way of enrolling people into the school, which then created this, beautiful connection to other coaches like Trevor. And Trevor and I ran together when we were at the school. And so I was so happy. I always like reading Trevor's stuff. Trevor is one who, and this is a little bit off color here because we're missing the brown, but Trevor's one who said to me today in a LinkedIn post that it's orange for the flame of leadership, and it is brown for groundedness, and the true color would be silver for wisdom, like gray hair, or I don't have any hair. I don't know if I had wisdom, but Trevor, congratulations. Thanks for writing the book, Steve. As I said, thanks for sharing all that you do. For everybody else, thanks for coming so we could create this together. And I did just want to share a couple of the business systems that are more analog, more slowed down, and are based in love that made what we did today at Business Builder Camp possible. Thank you all, and always go get them.